All
Take it
right,
home.
family. Peace to the family. We should be live right now. Thanks to everybody for their patience as usual on this Friday, so-called Friday night. And ooh, I can't wait to talk to this gentleman right here about the days of the week, the months of the year, the years of the decade, the decades of the century, and all of that. We're gonna have a real good conversation tonight, family. Make sure you hit the like button. That's very important to get the algorithm flowing so other folks of like minds could discover this chat tonight. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. What we're gonna do first is get to a quick commercial, music commercial, and then we'll be right back and I'll bring on and introduce my guests on this Friday night. See you in a second, family. All right.
Sometimes I wake up in the morning feeling stressed. Sometimes I wake up feeling like I never slept. Sometimes I don't wanna wake up cause I'm depressed. But today when I woke up I felt blessed. Yes, I'm thankful I could breathe. Thankful for the breath, thankful for the heart beating in my chest. Superman S. I fell in love with life, not afraid of death. Fell in love with life, fell in love with sex. And I confess, I love my gold. Melanated flesh, it absorbs, it protects like a bulletproof vest. I kill all my demons and then I ask who's next. I'm the son of Osiris, I'm coming for the suit test. Suplex, God is blood, God is great. I'm thankful for the food on my plate. I just ate mashed potatoes and steak. Victory is sweet, come get a taste. The flavor in your air is baked Mac with the base. Been broke, can't break, got money in the bank. Every day someone dies, someone's born. Get a cake, set a date, get a suit, get a tie, get a date. God is always on time, never late. Celebrate, get in shape, meditate, levitate, elevate. Men destroy, men create, real women menstruate. And the sound I make emanates my light. And the song I sing celebrates my life. Celebrate your life, celebrate your life. Celebrate today, celebrate tonight. Celebrate your life, celebrate your life. Everything was dark, God invented light. Everybody celebrate your life, celebrate your life. Celebrate today, celebrate tonight. Accepted all my wrongs, celebrate the right. When I die, celebrate my death, see what heaven's got. I feel glorious, victorious. The medal dangle on my...
All right. I think we lost the brother real quick. Yeah, I'm glad y'all liking that intro. City the Great said y'all got another one. Yeah, I feel like we're really, I don't want y'all to think we just doing music. We're really talented with this music thing. Me, Cambada, you know what I'm saying? So anybody out there that's able to help us get to new levels, I feel like the Most High is working through us to deliver a certain message in this new paradigm. So I'm thankful to be a part of that. I'm thankful to just be a vessel. And yeah, like if any of y'all ever able to help us in any way musically get our message out there to the masses, definitely let me know. Holla at me, let me know in the chat or wherever. We need all we can help we could get in that arena. We're in the conscious arena, but the music arena, we need all the help we could get. With that being said, I see the brother back. This is his first time on the platform, family. I've seen the brother on other platforms, and the brother's information is remarkable, is interesting, and I think the brother's truly tapped into his Lemurian roots. Without further ado, I want to welcome to the platform Huna Flash. Huna
Thank you,
Flash.
brother.
Indeed, good to have you on here. Let me hear you talk. I think you sound a little low. Let me hear you talk real quick.
You need some more. Check. You
Just
need
a
some
little
more.
more.
Check. You need a little more. You need a little more,
That's it.
brother.
You good now. You good now. You good now.
All right.
You good.
Okay.
You good. You good now.
I need.
Hey man. Hey, it's a pleasure having you on here, brother.
Happy to be here. Big fan. I'm a big fan.
Oh yeah.
Big fan,
Excellent.
brother.
Excellent. All right. Where
Big
are you?
fan.
Where are you located right now? Because I know you're not in. Where are you located right now?
I live in PDC, which they call Playa del Carmen in Mexico,
I,
over by the Mayan pyramids. Okay, so I live on the Yucatan Peninsula.
mhm.
Mhm.
I hear
Something like
amazing things. Yeah, I hear amazing things about Mexico, man. I hear it's so great down there, man.
we've got a lot of people that have moved here since the nonsense started a few years ago, and
Right. Right.
they ain't left. They're loving it.
You love
You
it.
know, the water,
Yeah.
the history, the culture,
Mm-hmm.
the Africa and Mexico, the Caribbean mix here. You know, it's amazing.
Oh man,
Really
beautiful.
amazing.
I
Yeah.
gotta visit there. So, all right, this is your first time on the platform, Huna Flash. Before we get started, please tell the family about yourself. Who are you? Who are you, brother? Because this is gonna be a good one. Tell the people about yourself.
Really don't know who I am. But let me just share this lifetime. Sweet, sweet dear one, sweet dearly beloveds. Brother Rich, thank you for having me here. I am born and raised of the Maori culture, of the Maori tradition, of the Maori lineage.
Mhm.
That means I'm born in New Zealand. I'm of tribal roots. My tribe, my roots are from the Ngāti Nui tribe. That means of the great heavens, the tribe of the great heavens. And that's a mix. My mother's side and my father's side is of Ngāti Kahununu. It's another tribe of mix. I'm mixed with the two tribes, but there are roughly 20 villages, 20 traditional cultural centers within my lineage. And that's quite a lot of people. And our traditions and our culture has been alive for a long, long time.
Right.
And our roots are in obviously Polynesia in the South Pacific, which means, you know, we are from the Pacific. We are from that ocean. We are from the land that's beneath that water.
Which is
Lemuria.
Lemuria.
One way to say Lemuria for all of you in the modern world, and when I say modern world, I'm talking 250,000 years as a modern world. Okay.
Wow.
That's just hitting the ancient. You're just barely scraping the start of the ancient. Okay.
Ooh, this is gonna be good. 250,000 years is just scratching the surface of the ancient.
That's the modern world, you know.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
You know, introducing gods.
Right.
You're introducing gods like from then, you know, and you have gods that are speaking in the name of themselves.
Right.
Speaking on behalf of themselves. You know what I mean?
We're gonna have a real good conversation tonight. The name of the show is The Great Solar Flash: Return to the Ancient Lemurian Calendar. Some amazing points I'm gonna raise that I talked to you about over the phone. But I want to start out with, since we're talking about, you mentioned ancient gods, you mentioned Atlantis. I want to ask you, because I have so many different speakers, and there's many different paths to the light. There's many different ways to ascension. And this is why I'm not judgmental for people who may think differently from me, because what works for them may not work for me. And I welcome people here with different ideas. As long as I know you're genuine, you come from your heart, then I can respect where you're coming from, because that's your world. We're all different worlds. I exist in my world just like you exist in yours, and we are participating in each other's world at this moment. But what I want to ask you about is, with your knowledge of the Pacific, Atlantis, what do you think? There's so much talk. I have people on here that talk about Dolph the Atlantean. What's your thoughts on? I got a thumbs down. I don't even know that was you.
No, wasn't me.
I didn't even know
Someone
somebody
thumbing me down, probably.
Wow. What's your opinion on Dolph? What's your opinion on Dolph the Atlantean, with all the knowledge that you've had? Because it may be different from us here in the West.
You know, the origin of Thoth is a star nation, and someone who became quite a celebrity. This is quite a celebrity now.
Oh,
okay. There's a lot of stories and a lot of myths and legends about this being.
right.
Many names. Okay, many names. What do I think? Well, as an elder, as he obviously an ancient elder of wisdom that he is,
Right.
He comes from a school of ancient wisdom and knowledge. So he's also the student, but he's not the beginning of the knowledge. But we can recognize that as we do. I recognize this being. I recognize all our elders. I place not one above the other.
Indeed.
And that is not our way, you know, as we receive all. terms of worshiping is not our way. That has been a part of many cultures, but to have respect and accountability and responsibility through our elders, yes, he has done a wonderful, let me say, incredible journey to share knowledge and the wisdom around the world, as have many, and there are many that are doing that now.
Indeed.
Okay, so Thoth, yes, an actual being of a certain lineage, a certain star lineage, a student from the infinite and eternal, the infinite one of knowledge, from the infinite knowledge. He started out also as a student of many. Doesn't come from him. Okay, so or this being. Many cultures, of course, are honored. We are all honored in the presence of our elders. We should be. That is our way. Okay. With that comes the sacred wisdom and the sacredness. We must nurture sacredness through the knowledge and the wisdom of the ancients, he being one of them. So I place him in right in there on the Po Manoa, which is the pillar of ancient teachers, the pillar of ancient elders. You call it a totem. Some would call it a totem. In Maori, we speak this as the popo, the pillar. Or Po Manoa, the pillar of our strength and our energy and wisdom and knowledge. We place it there. Of course, there are many names in the Maori. I could not tell you exactly which one represents Thoth, because that knowledge doesn't only begin with this one particular person. And even if I did say some of the names in my language, it would be too long to speak. Okay, it would be a long title. Shortened, we can speak to the knowledge of our elders as one being.
Right.
So if you have an understanding, and of course you can follow this, you can Google anything you like about Thoth. You can go to the universities and learn anything about them. It's not all entirely true. It may be true. It doesn't matter. What is interesting about it to me is that Thoth has many names, many titles. What was he Thoth before he was he? What was he before he was Thoth? Or Thoth, or Tos, or Toh is another way to speak the language. So if we go back to the language before Atlantis, we are going to make a different sound. We might say Toh, which means tower, which means also a pillar. Okay, Toh means pillar. And so you can associate the one and the many and the many and the one, including this this incredible teacher. Okay, so
let me
many in the one, which is what Huna means. Huna means one in the many, many in the
many
one.
in the one.
Derived from the Mongolian, derived from the Maori, derived from the Polynesian languages, is a convergence. There's a convergence there in the sound. Huna, who singularity, na means many.
Right.
Okay.
So I want to start out with this talk on the conversation about Lemuria can last days, family. So we're literally just, we're summing up a lot of things in such a short amount of time. I think that it's amazing what this gentleman could do in such a short amount of time and describing a history that spans millions upon millions of years. What I want to talk about first in terms of Lemuria, Huna Flash, is let's go straight to the calendar. One thing that you told me that was quite interesting when it comes to the Lemurian calendar. Now, I'm what they call a Virgo. In Western culture, they will call me a Virgo, born in September 17th to be exact. So I had a conversation with you, and you told me the Lemurian calendar, springtime in the cosmic conscious community, we all talk about spring being in March, because March is the official beginning of the year, because that's when the flowers bloom. And we're like, yeah, spring is in the New Year's in March. In springtime, that's when the New Year's, and we love March because we're like, that's New Year. You like the Lemurian New Year's in September. That's when it's popping. You told me about some things about this man called Jesus and everything. So let's immediately start about the Lemurian calendar and what you was telling me about the New Year's start. Lemurian calendar starting in what we call September versus March, what we think when we're conscious.
Actually, no, I said June.
June. Wait, what starts in June? June,
the New Year. The Lemurian New Year starts in June.
Okay.
It starts in winter. Then the spring is in September.
The spring is in September, yeah.
That's when our lambs are born.
Yeah.
Now, regardless of whether you are, whether your September is autumn or fall, it's still winter. It's still spring from the Lemurian side. Okay, so we don't shift the essences of the seasons or the months just because it's spring in one side of the world and it's autumn heading into autumn on another side, on the downside. We call the shadow side. We call it the downside, right? From January from January, we call that the downside to June. We call it the downside. On the upside, from June to December is on the upside because first time zone starts in New Zealand, which is in the winter. Okay, so which is in New Zealand, which is in the location of the New Year, which is in winter. This is aligned to the Pleiadian, the rising of Pleiades. So many people talk about Pleiades, sweet dear ones. Okay, now Pleiades has 9 planets. You can see them clearly on the rise from June. It rises from June, gets to September. You might see it from the northern hemisphere, but you might only see 7 planets. When it gets to September, we say this is the birth of the solar flash or the Christ light, the birth of the Christ light, which is a solar flash, which is a cosmic flash. That's the flash that I've been referring to, which is also aligned to the birth sign in that month, which is the dove. And the Lemurian birth sign is a dove, spoken of as the Namu Motu. And I believe your birth sign in Lemuria is a dove, Brother Rich.
Yeah, I'm born in September. Yeah.
We'll get around to that,
because I'm Christ-like. I'm Christ-like, yes.
Yeah, so we call it first light from June, starting from June, first light, because of the top 24 time zone or light zones, right? And then also because the seasons expand and contract from counterclockwise rotation with the planet's energies. Okay, so we move with the energies of the planets as well, aligned to that. Now, there's a lot here I'm saying. So we start from June, we get to September, and December is the 7th month of the Lemurian calendar, which is at the North Star. Okay, so December comes to the North Star, which generally the population has been enjoying this idea of Christmas consumptions, the consumption of Christmas, the corporate consumption of Christmas during that month, but also that is also aligned to where the North Star is in Lemuria, which is actually, when we say that area between December and January is the Lion's Gate. There's a purging energy happening there, which we just came through, as some of you may know. But let me get back to this first basics part of the calendar. Now,
Right.
June doesn't really exist. Neither does July, August, September. These names, they come from beings who are emperors, who are generals, and they are murderers, they're rapists, they're killers, they're pedophiles, and they're sex abusers. They kill their children, and they still do. Okay,
Wow.
That's what these months of the year are named after: Juno, Julius Caesar, Augustus, Septimus. They don't exist other than that they declared that everybody should be born under their month, under their essence. Doesn't mean that you're of that. But let me just share, brother, these are codes in this programming, and it has been this way for quite a minute.
Excellent.
Right?
Excellent.
In the modern world. So we undo that by returning it to the nature, which nature is, which Lemuria is aligned to nature, aligned to the rising of planets, Pleiades being that system, and rising with that and connecting to the energies as they expand and contract. In other words, massaging the pulse, the breath of the planet, and the pulsing of the planet is between seasons. Right now, if we get rid of all these months, and we get rid of mostly the English language that is deceitful, except for the parts that are not, and we can dig into those. Return everything back to the first language, the language before confusion, right? The sound before confusion. This is before Atlantis. Okay, so we go back to the sound before Atlantis. I don't need to get scientific and show you any proof of science here. All I need to do is share that in the consciousness, we all have an understanding. We all have a movement towards home. We are all moving to the unified field. Right? Whether doesn't matter what you believe in. Doesn't matter what you believe in. All things will become unified because all things serve to the highest. Everything does. And this is the time. Now is the time that it's starting to serve to the highest and becoming more clearer, more awakening, as you would say, as we would say, more clarity. I share these little pieces like this. There's a lot more here, but in this hour or so, these little pieces to place your consciousness in an awareness that, remember now, Julius Caesar, these Juno, Augustus, Septimus, these were murderers. These are pedophiles. They had orgies. They took children into their orgies. They did all these things. Tell me you're not with that. Right? Because that's from Atlantis. That's a behavior, a distortion behavior in the ego, right? That got supplanted into some of the families of the lineage of the Adam and the Eve, and from the laboratories of Eden into some of these families, even today through COVID, which is also another Adam and as another Eden, another laboratory. Eden.
Don't leave the COVID thing alone. I don't want them to flag
okay. So
you know that.
Through all the nonsense.
This is good. It's too good. Yeah.
Going back to these families and the influence programmed in, right, by having you enslaved. Using these codes to enslave you. It's so simple, brother. It's so simple that it's been so difficult for many to move out of that matrix. Everything is a matrix, but there is a benevolent matrix. There's one that doesn't serve, and then one that does serve.
One thing that I'm curious about what you just said that I see people mention in the chat, you mentioned that was quite interesting. You said the language before confusion. What was that? What was that?
Language is we speak in English like I am, and certain languages are derived. They build the English language. They're coming out of the Slovak language, the German, the Russian, and the Latin, and all that to create English. So we're coming from the 12 tribes, right? And separating of the 12 tribes and confusing them through these sounds. So through Lemuria, before Atlantis, to Atlantis, the sounds also came after Lemuria. So taking the sounds and go back through time, through space and time, through the 12 tribes, back through Atlantis, back means you're going to move from 12. I say that like this. I say from 12 tribes to 5 tribes to 2, and then back into the 1. 2 meaning masculine, feminine energies, not just human. Balance energies through sound, because we actually don't speak a language. We speak energy, vibration, frequency, magnetics, plasma, electromagnetics. This is what when we talk, sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloveds, when you open your mouth, right, your challenge is to not speak about a thing. Your challenge is to speak the thing, to be the thing that you're speaking. It's your challenge. There are practices for that. This is the beginning to share with you. I'm jumping here, brother. I apologize, but I
understand. It's great. Yeah.
take some chunks out of this.
Mm-hmm.
So what is that sound? Well, can I invite you to share sound with me?
Yes,
If you can share sound with me, then sweet dearly beloveds, you can too if you like. Okay. Repeat after me. Ha.
Ha.
First light. Sorry. I'm getting carried away. I've jumped ahead of myself. Ma.
Ma.
First light.
First light. Okay.
Ha.
Ha.
First breath.
First breath.
Ka.
Ka.
First born.
Firstborn.
Wa.
Wa.
First love.
First love.
Ta.
Ta.
First stone.
First stone. Okay.
He.
He.
First fire.
First fire.
Ma.
Ma.
Ha.
Ha.
Ka.
Ka.
Wa.
Wa.
Ta.
Ta.
He.
He.
Ta.
Ta.
Wa.
Wa.
Ka.
Ka.
Ha.
Ha.
Ma.
Ma.
Sa.
Sa.
Okay. There's a lot there,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
These are first principles energies, first principle sounds, taking you to the first light, the undistorted light, light before confusion. Is Ma. When I said 12 tribes and then back to 5, what I meant by that was the 5 root races are the essences of heaven. There's not a color in it. It's not about a color or a DNA or a culture or even human. The 5 root races of heaven are inclusive, all inclusive, all inclusive. So when we speak to the going from the 12 to the 5 to the 2 to the 1, we are returning our tribes back to the one sound, closer to the sound and the essences of the sound. Okay, that being five root races. Many have their versions of the 5 root races but I will share it this way. You know this sound. Okay, so we'll speak Maya, which means the return of the memory, first memory. Maya, the essence of the memory. Maka, the essence of birth. Maka, Maku, the essence of heaven. Mawa, the essence of love. And Mahi, the essence of first fire. And those, in my understanding and sharing through Lemuria, are the 5 root races of all creation, of all beings. They're not necessarily DNA. DNA is having quite a little bit. There's a little bit to do with it in the modern age where we are today, in the time where we are today. DNA required to be here on the planet.
Hey, Huna, real quick. Yes. I'm sorry. I gotta say this. Dog Goddess said, yes, baby's language. That's the baby. Yes. My casa.
Exactly.
That's the baby. The baby's got it right. They got it right, Huna. Oh, who would have thought? They got it right. Oh my God.
It's exactly right. Here's how I acknowledge that, and thank you, whoever said that.
Yeah.
This is how I see it. Yeah. Gods are limiting. The minute you speak about a God, you're limiting the whole thing. You're putting it into a reality that's in a matrix, that's just in that. If you believe in that being and worship that being as a God, that's your reality, that's your matrix.
Yeah.
Now, how do we get past that? What is before the God? My understanding, it is the child of light, is the most eternal, the most infinite. Not a human light, just human, all children that create, that have the opportunity and have the option to be mother or father, but certainly child. The energy of the spark of light of life is the eternal one, the most infinite one, which is, we say in this way, we can say child is an understanding.
Mm-hmm.
We say tama in the language. Tama. Ma means child. Tama. Okay, tamariki when we say children, but in our language, say tama. This is Maori language. It's my language, Maori language. But also part of this is Lemurian language.
Right.
So that person is exactly right. It's the language of the child. It's very simple. Not confused.
Yes.
Not confused.
Yes.
Before confusion. Let me get a teardrop, not an amen.
Oh man. Hey, I don't know if you do you want to go in that direction?
Of course we can.
Because I had a good I had a couple of conversations with you too, to be exact, 2 or 3, and you were telling me about the power. And I don't want to get too far off from the Lemurian and everything, but you were telling me, because we were talking briefly about dragons, and I don't know how it went from dragons to teardrops. And you were telling me about how powerful teardrops is, a tear from your eye. Can you talk to me about that real quick, brother? Tell the people what's going on with that.
Some of you here in the hood, as so to speak, many nations have been to jail. For those who haven't, you may have seen this in the movies.
The so-called blacks and the so-called Mexicans with the teardrops.
Well, you all see tattoo of
the tattoo. Yeah.
On that is of course, an emotional feeling towards the loss of somebody, right?
Yes, sir. So
gangsters and all of them, when they had a powerful love for the brothers or the sisters. Put the tattoo. Single tear is a powerful compassion. That's the power of compassion. Doesn't matter whether they're thugs or in jail or whatever. That is a quite possibly that person is in jail because they shed that tear and in anger, caused revenge or whatever. But they took that energy and they used it not for the best of their interest or the others, perhaps for the best interest of others. That's what we refer to the teardrop crew working in terms of dragon energy, where you're not in commanding control of your highest functions, your higher physical functions and your energy, your vibration, your frequency, your electromagnetic, and certainly your frequency, okay, and your intentions. Now, we call that Tani, okay, regarding the dragons. So rather than the understanding of a serpent being as a dragon, as you are all familiar with, we human beings, many beings on this planet, mammals, have the vertebrae, many have the invertebrate. But the vertebrae we all have, which is an aspect of, and we can say it is an aspect of the reptilian, it is an aspect of the dragon. The vertebrae has an essence, a certain essence. Each creature of the vertebrae is an essence of the dragon. Okay, and this is brought out because many work with the dragon energy in terms of their practices for healing, utilizing different medicines that are engaged and activated by your vertebrae, by your dragon energy, the connection to your dragon energy, much like you can use it for whatever intention you want, brothers, sisters, sweet dear ones. The challenge is for benevolence, at this time. So, represented by a teardrop, we refer to this as Tani. In another essence, as a higher essence understanding of a dragon, the tear of a dragon. You, as a dragon, being of the vertebrae, because you don't look like a dragon, I'm not saying you are, or a reptilian or a Draco. You simply have an essence, or an aspect of the ability to access that kind of energy at that level, which you can. Either you're going to be an alligator and just bite the head off somebody, or you're going to shoot somebody, you're going to stab somebody, you're going to fight somebody, you're going to go into fighting mode, uncontrollable. Okay, that's just free will. without accountability and without responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these energies are brought in. We bring them in when we were children. When we're children, we're born with the vertebrae.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can get into a lot more deeper into this topic, but let's just go a little bit further for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So we speak to the dragon, and we share this as the Tani. Now, teardrop of a dragon. Now I'm going to share. I just want to share my friend here.
Please
This
do.
is my friend. This is my staff. One of my staff. This is Tani Maro, which means the long white dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Tani Maro. So you can see. Okay, I work with, this is an extension of my energy. He is a baby,
Mm-hmm.
and an ancient baby
Mm-hmm.
with trillions of years of energy. We
Ancient.
access land, water, sky. We access land, water, sky. When we go into ceremony at the Stargates and places where I work, where I travel to physically, we switch on, and the whole team switches on, and we go to work resetting frequencies. I work with the dragon energy, Tani model, because it's also representative of my spine. This is the long white dragon.
Right.
Okay? Just want to share that with you. Now, do I have tears? Yes, I do. When I go to places of sacred places to clear the distortion and return things before confusion, you can bet there's a lot of tears. You can bet you're going to have a dragon master's posture to be able to stand and not fight. We don't need to fight. There are ways to do the things without fighting, and that is called the undoing. Okay, the undoing, the codes of the undoing, having knowledge and wisdom of certain modalities and tools and protocols and sequences that we work with of the undoing. The staff is made of a wood from Bali. It is coated in a paint, white paint, but that white paint has within it what is known as a crystal, which is called kotahara. So this coating is kotahara, which is the crystal from the comet that created the Gulf of Mexico. Okay? That crystal is found in only one place in the planet where we gather it from, and we work with it all around the world. I mean all the way around the world, sweet dear ones, in Jerusalem, Israel, Africa, all over, the UK, everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
United
Mm-hmm.
States. We've been, and we take it, and we take this knowledge with us, the knowledge of the dragons, the power and the power of the tear of the dragon, which
Mm-hmm.
gives us access to land, water, sky. Dragons ultimately are land, water, sky activators. You work with that energy, speak the languaging and the codes, and go directly to affecting these tools, these energies.
Yeah. Real quick, before we move on from the conversation of teardrops, which is a very insightful one, I think that's pure wisdom, because an intellectual will skip right by a conversation of teardrops because he or she would not consider it that important. So I definitely respect you taking time to discuss the power of teardrops. One question I want to ask you in terms of teardrops is I'm not a big crier in terms of crying and releasing teardrops. But one thing I notice about when I do release teardrops, I'm big on imagination. I'm a big visualizer. I'm a big on creating my reality, law of attraction guy, creating my reality for my thoughts and stuff like that. And when I really want something, I want it so bad. I noticed this for a while now, that I will cry. Tears will be released from my eye when I imagine Guinness. So like, let's say, I'll give you an example. Let's say, Huna, I wanted to, something as simple as have 1 million subscribers on my YouTube channel, right? If I really tap into my imagination, I'm going to cry at the thought of getting 1 million subscribers on my YouTube channel because it feels so real to me. I conjure that level of emotion. So talk to me about intentional teardrops. When you create an intention in the universe and you're releasing teardrops through the energy of that intention, Huna.
Absolutely. When you asked me a while back, and someone asked me also, what do I think of manifestation? I replied, throw that out the window. It's another sound you don't need. Why? Because all that is brought all that is needed and all that is asked for and all that is felt and all that is known. And you have known these things, by the way. That is why the teardrop comes, because it is a return to that which you have access to and always have had access to. And at some stage, sometimes you have this feeling, okay, it's you know what you can bring to the world when you get to this certain level and a certain level of connection, be it 1 million, be it 1 billion. You're connected to so much more than just 1 million, brother.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
And your imagination is also comes from many as well, not just your own. Okay, it's not just your own imagination. It's also a culmination of all knowledge and wisdom of creative genius and imagination, super intelligence, and that you're a part of it as well. That's also another place where the teardrop comes from. Okay, we call this feeling that replaces manifestation. We call it muki muki. Muki muki. What a sound. Sound like a baby, right?
Yeah.
Like a baby. Muki muki is a yearning and a desire. You know what it feels like. You've had the memory of it from so long ago, maybe even recently. You have you have someone else sharing with you and saying to you, I remember when you were such and such and you used to be this and that. Well, we were all so many things. Sometimes we forget. Now that when you go into that muki muki, you fully understand it, you fully feel it. It serves you, even though there's a yearning. There is a yearning there. And that yearning is the dragon energies connecting. Okay. And it's bore out through the tear of a dragon. The teardrop of a dragon has rainbow colors in it, in the water, source light energy within that teardrop. It is connection to, if you want, all chakra systems we call kaha. All kaha comes to aid. That kaha means source power. Kaha means just literally pure power that comes to your aid. All of it comes to your aid, to your, because it is you and your memory. And the more that you're creating, brother. See, here's a thing for you. You say that it's good to have you here on the show, and it's good to be here with everybody, sweet dear ones. You know, this show is from the future, brother, and I'm from the future. I'm from the future, right? This is a memory we're looking at. We are not looking at an illusion.
Looking at a memory.
We are a memory that we know each other. That's why we know. That's why we can sit here and talk the way, and we meet this way. When we meet, we are not a deja vu. We are a memory, literally a memory of the future. Future memory now and all nows. Now, here, let me explain a little bit more because it comes into this idea of what you're asking for. Okay, you don't need to ask for it. You already have it. Okay, you just got to feel the mud between your toes.
No, I didn't say I asked for it. I said I imagine it. So I don't ask for nothing. I imagine having it, and that's what it is. I don't ask for shit. I imagine having it, and that's when because the feeling of having it in my mind creates the tear. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Apologies. Yes. So yes, you have you know it. You have the feeling of it. You know it. You don't need to ask. You have it. You imagine it, and that is connecting to the energies of the dragon that bring it into reality, bring it into form. Okay. In a little way, you're imagining, what we're going to talk about. Okay, because you were talking about, I'm trying to think of what you and I could talk about. That means I'm here. That means you have already brought me here. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I am from the future. Not only that, now this memory thing, see, sweet dear ones, Brother Rich, I am not here. I was here. I'm not an illusion. I'm a memory, and I'm eternal memory. The word for that, the sound for that is wairua. Wairua tapu or wairua. That's the sound for the eternal memory of the future. Now, and then imagination? Yeah. Because imagination is also the future.
So I got to ask you this because you made two references as far as us being here being a memory versus quantum physicists saying that this is an illusion, or ancient cultures. I believe the word is Maya, which also they say according to my knowledge means illusion. So you seem to be straying from this word illusion and going toward this word memory. What's your problem with the word illusion in comparison to memory? Because this is interesting. This is good stuff.
Illusion is illusory. We are not confused.
Uh-huh.
We're not confused. Now, some may not realize that they can also throw away the word illusion and hold this with the eternal memory. Maya means the essence of the memory. Maya means the essence of memory. It may be vague memory. It may be so vague that's an illusion to some.
Yeah.
I think like I said, the English language is deceitful. Does not say what it means. I would not sit on entirely all the English language because it's so fluffy, right? Now, that's okay. People can take this as you want to take it, sweet dear ones. I would invite you to the higher side of the vibration. Okay, but what I would say to you, speak the word waidua versus illusion, right? Because waidua is also a sound that is of the higher vibration than illusory. I don't think and I don't feel that you are elusive in your approaches. And I don't think many are. I think many are coming to the clarity that they can see. They can see now, and they also have a more deeper understanding. They also know that the maritime law is out. They also know that the English language is deceitful. They're looking for the things to connect to. In the recent past, yes, illusions and the quantum physicists are speaking these sounds. Who knows how much they're getting paid, brother? Okay, so we just still have to be careful of the individuals that are putting that type of spell on top of spell. Okay, because you can't spell a spell. You want to undo it, and the way to undo it is to speak directly to what the energy, and the energy is waidua. That I feel. This is my opinion. Okay, based upon my lessons from the School of Light and the mystery schools of the special bird from New Zealand when I was young. We're all students. Yeah, so though that memory can be vague, that's a challenge for all of us to remember. It is a powerful challenge.
You know what always interested me, and I've had questions about, is because I've had so many teachers, like I said, I've interviewed so many teachers who've come from this country and who haven't come from this country. They always say black, white, whatever, just different teachers all over. They've always said how bastardized the English language is, how confusing it is, how much Dr. Phil Valentine used a word called light code lockdown. It's like it's a lockdown language. There's so many words and phrases and sentences I've heard to describe the English language. But in this present time, if this is a memory, the future, the present, or the past, you're here with me on my platform talking this language, getting this message to the masses in more of a way than you could possibly get in any other language. So what is it about this language that makes it so powerful in music, culture, politics, whatever you want to, spirituality, when you want to learn about this language seems to be so powerful globally, but I hear so many teachers bash it. It almost seems confusing to somebody who's listening. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about that real quick.
Okay, so we do have acknowledgement to the English language and to how it has served. Okay, it has served, and now it can serve again by returning us to the unified field and the unified sound through that, because it's also, are we not, brother, returning home?
Oh yeah.
Either we're returning home or we're going to hang out in the willy-nilly. Well, you can decide. Okay, are we not unifying together? Yes, we recognize that that language has served its purpose to help us unify. I see it this way. I see it not just as, although I bash the crap out of it, not just as I also see it as a benevolent to serve, because there is a part of it. There are good words of the English language that are not used enough.
Right.
There are more words used than not that are of higher vibration, and have a challenge to hold up, because it is a true challenge to hold up the English language, like love, like unconditional love, these kinds of things, words, harmony, peace. These are our challenges. And where are those sounds today in Israel and Palestine, having a good old smack at each other because of whatever? Good old peace, good old harmony at work there. No? Yes? Well, no, we're not sure. Wow, because it's confusing. Right? Now, yes, the English, we can give thanks to it. Yeah, and then it can piss off, brother. Yeah? Once it's done its job, it can piss right off back to where it came from. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to him. I'm here for it, brother. Talk to him.
Okay, we can share with
I
you
love
the
it.
baby's
I love
language.
it.
We're going to share with you the language of the infinite, eternal ones, where we hardly spoke at all. We're going to move back into the telepathics. We already are. You and everybody here, sweet dear ones, are already moving in that direction. I know you are. We've seen you out there in the dream world. Know that the dream world is true.
Who is these thumbs down? Where's this coming from? This got to be your crowd. Trolls. No, I've never seen this before in this. Where is this coming from? This is like distracting to the channel. But go ahead.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge, brother. I'm a challenge. I'm a challenge for many. Okay, and that's okay. They serve too. Be funny enough, and so they serve the higher vibration. Funny enough.
Yeah.
Saying so yeah, I understand that the English language is being utilized this way, and also see it as a serves. So moving to the area before confusion, things have to be filtered out, and that is part of the energy that's being filtered out. I still speak English here, and that's okay. I'm not gonna, get after you because you do. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm simply planting the understanding that everything serves. And I'll even go as far as saying this, it'll hurt, because nothing is ever wrong. Nothing is right. Nothing is right. Nothing is wrong. It's just going to hurt. Okay. It's really going to hurt until it doesn't hurt. Ooh. In the case of Israel and Palestine, nothing is wrong. Nothing is right. As you know, everyone has the opinion. But it's going to hurt until it doesn't hurt. And what is that lesson? Once it does not hurt, once it becomes to peace, what is that lesson? It's a lesson we already learned many times over. Many times over. We learned that lesson, and yet it's being manipulated in ways not as much as it used to be. And I'm going to say that also. Not as much as it used to be. It is on its that whole manipulation thing is on its way out. But I tell you, it's gonna hurt until it doesn't. And you know this. Look at all the protests around the world. Who do you stand for? And I stand for the light of the child. That's who I work for. And the planet, of course. So this languaging is to serve, through all of that, is to serve and filter out what does not serve.
Let me talk to you. Let's talk about Lemurian consciousness versus Draconian consciousness. What is the difference, and where do they fall? The Lemurian consciousness is is there a group of people who fall under Draconian? You know what I'm saying? Let's talk.
Yes, there is. Well, yes. a certain. There used to be more Draconian forms, reptilian forms on the planet. There's less now. There's been a lot of work done to remove that material, that form. What is mostly now is also the infected DNA of certain families that are carrying that lineage on. Now, the consciousness. Now, crocodiles will eat their babies. Reptilians will eat their babies. That's natural.
Yes.
And that's a natural cycle, a cycle of nature. They will eat their own young when they're hungry. You know this.
Yes.
That's draconian.
Okay.
Now, the problem I'm having in some of the many star nations is having is they're trespassing and they're eating our babies. Okay. Now, we would invite their consciousness to return back before confusion.
Yeah.
And return to eating their own babies.
Wow.
That's nature, the natural cycle of things of the energy. Until such time as it hurts so much until it feels good for them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a manipulation going on here. There's there are a few, let me say, star nations, beings manipulating the situation, using it for monetary gain, power gains, energy gains by utilizing the remaining population of the draconian beings that are here, and also the DNA which is in some of the human families that you know of, you're quite aware of, and enslaving humanity and causing them to take our babies, human babies. And we're working towards shutting all that down. Of course we are. It's less than there used to be. And I can't tell you the percentage. I can just share that the light is much higher than it's ever been on this planet today. Though the news media will have you feel otherwise.
When you say the families, what do you mean? Like the Illuminati families we used to learn about, like the 13 tribe, the 13 families, yeah? Like the Rockefellers and the DuPonts, those?
Yeah, all of those responsible for our children being eaten by these beings as payment, monetary gain. Okay, so the thing is to work on their conscious the higher and the future of themselves to remind them of the nature cycle that they now need to return to eating their own people.
Yeah, right.
That's not fighting. That's not fighting. That's undoing. It's called the undoing. There's things that we do within our team of the work we do with the tools we work with. We utilize the codes of the undoing.
How was you go way back in Lemuria, my brother, Huna Flash, way back, my ninja, as you say, my ninja. What was their take? We see violence being played out through wars in our culture. What was their take on violence? Did they have wars as well in Lemuria? How was that? What was that like in Lemuria, ancient Lemuria? I'm talking about millions of years.
600 million years. First Lemuria. When New Zealand and Hawaii was one mountain, it was called Mo'au. Mo'au, which means the mountain of the world. Okay, Maui was the very first civilization on top of that mountain. It is the geometry of it still remains today, and I share that and I teach that to the kahunas over the last 20 years. I've been sharing it. So to show you where it is, I can show you where it is, where the geometry is. The 6-pointed star geometry is still on it. I can show you where it is.
Wow.
Now, 600 million years, a few hundred million years or so, New Zealand moved to the position it's in today. Back in that day, there was the spin cycle of the planet was calculating today, not exactly, but 12 hours. A short day.
Okay.
As beings, we decided to say we can't grow the life. We can't. The creation of life requires more light.
Right.
This requires more light.
Right.
And so when New Zealand and Lemuria shape changed and the mountain came down, there was a switch in the energetic and the rotation of the planet. A change in the rotation. You can say however you feel you want to say that change happened, whether the moon banged into us or whether
Go ahead, Huna. Talk your shit, man. Talk your shit, Huna.
I don't care what story you use, but I can say to you, and the geologists have this as well because they have a proper mastery of this than the archaeologists. And they place New Zealand at 500 million years in its current location, which is when the the planet's energetic level switched and we got more light, we got a 24, based upon just what we know today in terms of hours, 24-hour light cycle.
Right.
A rotation, a full rotation of a full day. Now, my ancestors, even many ancestors talk about this. The Hawaiians talk about capturing of the sun, how Maui captured the sun, you know? And also my people talk about Maui too. We're all the same. And so what it truly is understood from the memory and the returning from, as I was a being from those times and many times before, all of us have been many beings in many places. And so my memory of it was that we slowed down the rotation of the planet by tethering it to the sun with an energetic network which is high technology, right? Because we were into high technology. We could connect the planet to the sun through a network grid tether.
Through what? Through what? Come on, don't tell me through what?
So, it's in the magnetic field, energetic, the electromagnetic field, what they call the universal global electric, manipulating and working with it. Dragon energy. This is dragon energies, brother. This is dragon energies, man. We go way back with the dragons.
Jesus Christ. So I live for this information, y'all. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, we're not talking science because science cannot speak. It may be speaking now, just recently, and then that's just fine too, whatever. But this is the stories and the memory of the beings that were there. Believe it or not, if you're imagining your imagination and you're creating from your imagination, then why not? I don't fault to anybody.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but I can just share with you what I have on this, and many of our elders do, that we tied the planet to the sun, electromagnetic, and just slowed the rotation down for the creation of life.
Of life. Wow.
All kinds of life, even the reptilian beings that came through the cells on this planet, that were born on this planet. And then also experiments took place, and the vertebrae evolved. And the vertebrae evolved, right? So now we have first Lemuria, 600 million years.
Yes.
Second Lemuria, 300 million years ago, which was when Ireland and Wales was a mountain together.
Okay.
That second Lemuria goes all across Europe. Third Lemuria, and third Lemuria, which we peg when the mountains shifted over to Asia and Indonesia and Asia and Mongolia, all of that, we refer to that area and that location as third Lemuria. This is before Atlantis.
I know, but that's how many million? Because you said first Lemuria is 600, second 300, the third one is what?
Like 200.
200, okay.
And then fourth was where a lot of action took place, which was where Africa, the what you call the Middle East, through these areas, and the Caribbean and South America, fourth Lemuria. Now these energies, there were two of the Lemurias were natural shifts and natural changes. Two of them, the last two, became betrayal. There was betrayal and there was war. Okay, at the end of Lemuria 4, war was here in the Yucatan Peninsula before there was a Yucatan Peninsula, before there was a Gulf of Mexico. We're talking 50 to 60 million years ago when Lemuria 4 fell.
Wow.
Now, there is a story and there is a channeling, and many know about this channeling, the channeling of the Kumara, and specifically the Sanat Kumara, or the Kumaras of third Lemuria and fourth Lemuria, who stated, and there's a prophecy said about this, that when we return, we will return Lemuria 5 from the place of where it fell. When it fell from Lemuria 4 here, the Kumaras will return to this location and reintroduce Lemuria 5. They didn't say anything about it, the age of Aquarius. Sanat Kumara and the seven Kumara, the seven crystal beings of the light of days, shared that it will return to Lemuria 5. Right now, we are at planet number 5, and we are at the age of Lemuria 5. Some would say Aquarius. I'm going to just say, okay, that's part of Atlantis, okay, and it has distortions. But I'm going to say to you, I'm with the Kumaras on this. I am with the ancient crystal beings council of the light of days, which are the Kumara.
Quick question. Lemuria 1, 2, 3, 4. These are all telepathic because this is pre-Atlantis. Are these all
Yeah, this
telepathic
is
civilizations?
nope. These are civilizations. These are
No,
physical.
no, I said telepathic, meaning they don't use words or language.
Oh,
They just,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. What
yeah.
this sounds came telepathic and sound, and both sound and
Both,
light,
both. Okay, okay.
and telepathic. Sound and light is telepathic,
Yeah. Okay,
and telepathic is sound and light.
okay.
Your eye, you have a specific energy with your left eye. Has a multiple lens in your left eye. It's particularly this left eye.
Mhm.
If you learn the dragon eye practice, you'll activate it.
Mhm.
It's a practice that I share with other Hunas, and we work with that.
You got some
It's a
stuff,
dragon
man.
eye. Okay.
Wow.
Now let me just the 4 Lemurias, and then after the war finished, Lemuria 4, Atlantis. Millions of years later, Atlantis arrived, and Atlantis actually came into nature, arrived in a time of peace, because it came to the peace then. And that was beautiful about Atlantis. Like the first 2 Atlantean civilizations were both beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so someone is mentioning here Maui is a trickster in Polynesian mythology. You don't know what you're talking about, mate. Okay, you have no idea. You watch too many movies. That's always that's Hayoko medicine, which just it's not. Let me just say that AR doesn't know what AR is talking about. That's a movie. We're not talking about movies here. Okay, Maui was my brother. He was not a trickster. Let me just say. So I gotta answer that question, brother. Sorry, I had to answer that or that comment. Right? As I am Mauta, Maui was my brother in Lemuria, okay? And I know fully of what he was. Now, so then it came the Atlantean times, which were peaceful, except for the last 2.
Except for the last 2.
The last 2, well, you know of like Atlantis 2 and 3, or 3 and 4, because they came through the Mediterranean, they came through Mesopotamia, they came through Africa.
Right.
It came right around. Lemuria went in a full circle, and then Atlantis went in a full circle too, because Atlantis 4 ended up back in Pacific, which was Rapa Nui, Easter Island, the Marquesas. In the last vestiges of Lemuria, in the last 25 to 3,000 years, you can go to Polynesia and you can see the end times of Atlantis. They say the completion of Atlantis, returning back to nature, which is Lemuria. So if you ever go to the Rapa Nui, Easter Island, you will see, right, in the modern times, the end of Atlantis. Now, of course, in Peru, Machu Picchu, and Bolivia, and Chile, and all around there, the remnants of fourth civilization of Atlantis. Because Atlantis was all over the planet, right?
Right.
As you know, and I've heard, many of your guests speak about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Let me ask this. Let me put myself back on the screen here. Give me a second. How do I do this? Since we're talking about Atlantis, Lemuria, all right. So a lot of the people that watch the channel, I'm assuming, I got people from all over the world. Mm-hmm. A lot of people that watch the channel though are what we would call melanated. And the thing about melanated people, we always feel left out, Huna Flash. And we feel like when we look at pictures of divinity, growing up in America in the West, when you observe pictures of divinity, you never see yourself included, but you're told that everybody is included. So it's a weird feeling. You're told that everybody's included. We are one. But when you look at the images, you don't see everybody. You only see an image of a white man. Not even a white woman, of a white man. Sometimes white woman, but mainly a white man. So it almost seems deceitful when we hear spiritually people come and tell us we're all included. We're like, oh shit, well, here comes the white savior thing again. So what I want to ask you and your culture, because it's always great talking to people from different cultures. What I would love to know is, in your culture, what can you tell about the people who may be feeling left out that are watching this program right now from ancient history, who never see themselves in ancient history? What can you tell them about their place or position in Atlantis or Lemuria, coming from where you're from, my brother?
Yeah, our experience with, let me just kind of approach it from colonialism in the modern world.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we are, you know.
Yes, sir.
People, the place you're talking from.
Mm-hmm.
The British couldn't defeat the Maori, so they had to have a treaty.
Mm.
Okay. And the Maori supported Africa and fought with the Zulu nations against the British in the Boer Wars. Mm-hmm. We all fought side by side. Our bloodline is very special. Melanated bloodlines, extremely special. We cannot be destroyed. That's okay. If you're feeling like what you said, for those who are feeling left out or feeling like feeling low. No, sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloved, we are still on the planet. And you are still here. Your people can never be destroyed. Our people can never be destroyed. Mm-hmm. We are in the plants. We are in the dirt. We are in the air. We are in the sky. We are in the water. Mm. Okay? We can never be destroyed. Drink the water. Mm. Eat the foods of the planet. Eat the vegetation. Be of this planet, because you are. This is the royal family. Not that we are selective only. Let me just share from this perspective, and we can go broader from there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So know that please have a knowing that your people can never be destroyed. Look what they tried to do to you in Africa. Mm-hmm. And yet you're still having millions of babies. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The Native Americans were pushed onto a reservation to destroy them. And look what happened. They had more babies, and they found oil. Gold. They found a way to survive. It is just what it is. We are the planet. We are the land, the water, the sky. Just what it is, and that's what we are. This is what indigenous is to be. Okay, and to know, to have an understanding that this is your connection now, beyond tribes and beyond flags, straight to the earth, straight into the blood of the earth, which is the water, that you, okay, the melanated ones. And I was just saying something the other day, brother. I was kind of giggling to myself, and I wasn't thinking about this show, but I was walking around going, melanin Elohim, the return of the melanin Elohim, the return of the melanin Elohim. And I kept saying it. Why was I saying that? And I think about it. But I'm walking around for a few days going, the return of the melanin Elohim.
Wow.
Which is the source power.
Yeah.
So, hey, take that on. Melanin Elohim.
Melanin Elohim.
Yeah. We are the melanin Elohim, which means source power.
Yeah.
And what that source power, we also have dragon energy connected through all of that, which is of this planet, the earth, of this earth, many planets, many stars. But let's just speak to here in this modern time right now, that your skin color is a very special brand. Now, there are other skin colors. No one's knocking that. Okay, they and many will talk, but I will always say to you that we are one in the many, many in the one. So I will always say this to you. From the dark skin comes the fair skin. Mm-hmm. From the fair skin does come the dark skin. They will all return. We will all return home. So I offer this into your muki. All right, your level of muki that you're going through. This is what Brother Rich is talking about. You're talking about muki. Your level of pain and sorrow in the tear of the dragon, to find a place to come to control and command of your dragon energy. It is so very powerful. Hence, that's the reason why you're still here, and our people are still on this planet and can never be removed. Not by no means of whatever manipulation, depopulation program. We are part of the repopulation program. We are the repopulation program. We called the repopulation program. Okay. And those all of the fair skin also are looking to us, even though they don't say that to you. They're looking to you to be the hero. They're not going to tell you that. Don't
You can feel
expect
it. You can feel it.
You can feel it. They're looking
You
to
can
you.
feel it, yeah.
You know when they come to you.
Yeah.
And you're mucky again because you know you love them. You know they are from you and you are from each other. We are from one another.
We are one.
Politics and cultures and flags aside. Now, there is a phrase that we use, that we speak of, and this is one that I'm working on to eliminate. I want to work on even more and spread to eliminate from the planet. And this code is spoken of as Pakeha. There's another code spoken of as Haole. Hawaii, you'll hear this. Another code spoken of which is Palangi. And then the fifth code just spoken of is called Papolo. These 5 codes have penetrated humanity for thousands and thousands and thousands and millions of years that cause betrayal. What does Pakeha mean? For some in my culture, they see this as being the white man. No, it does not mean white man. It means disease. It means infection. And it's colorless. It knows no color. You can be brown and still be a Pakeha.
Indeed. Oh,
You can be a Haole. What does Haole mean? Walking dead. Someone who walks with no breath. The no breath. Okay, that's what Haole means. No. We have to eliminate that because they refer to the white man as walking with no breath. We are supposed to give them breath. It is sacred. Okay, now, then the other one is Palangi, which just simply refers to white man. Now we can eliminate that as well because that's what we've been working on. Now, and also Popolo is also the attack on the black people. Okay, be calling you black balls. This is like saying boy or kefe or all these things. And eliminate that because the fair skin comes from the dark skin and the dark skin comes from the fair skin. And these 4 codes have been a powerful manipulation to humanity. And so those 4 I'm working on to eliminate in the atmosphere.
Excellent.
There's a way to do it, but we're working on it.
Let me ask you this, Huna. In terms of Lemuria and what you know, how different is their DNA from ours? Because we want to do the things they did. We hear about all these amazing things, and we think if we read some books, if we do some meditation, is it possible for us to be the superheroes that we claim that we are?
Okay. Yes. Absolutely. You're from the future. Right? There's no sense in living in the past. So what does one do from the future? Access everything that is beyond and in the imagination of creativity, bring it into now. Not just manifesting it, feeling and knowing what that is. There are practices. I'm going to say to you, Dragon Masters.
Yeah, come on.
Bring that energy to your hands and utilize it. There are practices. There are places to go to confirm your superpowers, to work with your these very natural essences of your being. Stargates and resetting stargates to higher frequencies, closing down dark portals, being challenged, and then and going into areas where you do not. Into a consciousness where a frame of mind where you do not need to fight. Just undo, learn the undoing. You learn the undoing. These are things that we share from the House of Huna. They're very practical.
Excellent.
They're very powerful. You can go to the testimonies on my website and listen to what some of the Hunas, some of those have said, and the many journeys that the House of Huna is traveling in the work we do. Be part of the work. It's not really work, sweet one. It's like playing. It's like so much joy in it. You certainly quickly forget about I'm this superpower and they got superpowers. Why don't I? You certainly forget about it. You become part of the whole of a community, like-minded community, not just like-minded, but also one in practicality, authentic.
Yes, sir.
Authentic.
Yeah.
I can't tell you who is authentic on the planet, but you're going to find out who is soon enough when you're out there doing things. You become authentic. Just be authentic yourself. And there are places to go to confirm your authenticity and your strength and the connection to the Kaha system, which is your pure power source center.
Where's these places? You said there's places to go to verify your authenticity.
We are working on the 48 Stargates of the new birthing system for the planet number 5.
That sounds deep. What do
We
you
are
mean?
at Stargate number 24. We are moving into Stargate 24 this year to activate the consciousness of the 24-strand DNA and the 24-dimension consciousness. Clarity.
Stargate where?
We cannot announce that location right now.
Okay.
Some people say, oh, Tibet is 19. No, it's not. It used to be 19. It's been reset in its frequency. It's no longer 19. Number 16 is Tenerife. And the top of the mountain in Tenerife, where I recently reset that frequency.
Where's that? Tenerife?
Tenerife is the Canary Islands.
Oh, shit. How many Stargates are there?
What we are working on that concerns humanity and the new birthing system for the most infinite one is 48 Stargates.
48.
12 continents. There are 12.
There are 12. You got
a few of them are underwater.
Tell me the name of the 12 continents. This is too good. Can you tell me the name? Can you tell me the name?
Because their names are not names, they're essences of nature, which are nature beings.
Excellent.
So when we talk, for instance, here's one for you.
Excellent.
You know the Americas?
Yes, sir.
You know the Native Americans called it Turtle Island?
Yeah. I have people on the show that said
from Greenland all the way to New Zealand being the tail. Okay, or at least Mexico and the Americas. That's Turtle Island.
Yes, sir.
Now the turtle, east-west, I have activated and reset the frequencies. That was the first one I worked on long time ago. For the 4 Stargates, for the 4 locations on that. Now, all the information is accessible through our course. There are some things I talk about on my websites that are also free. But you have to have a vibration of a certain level of vibration to be there and go there and do things. You're not going to access it with your willy-nilly flying around in spacecraft kind of bullshit.
Yes, sir.
Because those ships are not able to access through these levels of frequency Stargate of Lemuria. They're not for traveling through. They're not for selling arms and trade and doing business through. They're not for selling children through or sending super soldiers through. That's not what those Stargates are. Those are portals you're talking about. And we even work on shutting those down. Now, these 48 Stargates they're on a grid called the Motu. Motu grid. That's the name of the girl. It's not called a crystal grid at all. It's a Motu grid. It's a new birthing grid for planet number 5. And this is planet number 5 now. It's been recognized as planet number 5. It's been confirmed. Planet number 5 is spoken of as Matea.
Yeah.
Gaia ascended. Gaia ascended is Matea. It means the planet of new light. In Lemurian, it means new light. First principle of new light. And there forevermore. This will be the last time. Okay. Set forth by the Kumaras of the crystal light of days. Okay. Now, these Stargates, for instance, these continents, referring to the continents. You know, there's a continent we speak of as the Lamb. Now, why would it be the Lamb? Could you figure out why it's called the Lamb? You kind of know, but I'll just kind of tease that for me. I'll share it, but just I'm going to get you. I want your consciousness to start going here, sweet, sweet dear ones. Why is it called the Lamb? Why is there a continent called the Lamb? There's a continent called the Turtle. Fine enough. We know you have history on that of conversation and history and legends and stories and tribes talking about it. But what about the Lamb? Where could the Lamb possibly be? You grew up with this. The Lamb, the countries that are placed upon the Lamb are Ukraine, Hungary, Romania, Bosnia, Sarajevo, Poland, Czechoslovakia, Slovenia, Bratislava, or these countries. Okay, Chechnya, sorry. These countries are on the continent of the Lamb. Why? Because all of those countries, including today, were false flagged into war and manipulation. And guess what? Those people eat more than beef, they eat lamb. Okay? I have one Stargate remaining on the Lamb to complete. I just returned 2 months ago back from Romania, Mount Busij, where I reset the frequency for the Stargate number 23. That used to be an Anunnaki starbase. Used to be. Okay. Now that's tied to Ukraine, but that's also because it's on the Lamb. And what do we know about the Lamb? Sacrifice. So many millions of families sacrificed on the Lamb. It is this energetic field. It's an energetic continent, not necessarily just land, but there is land there, even under the water. Okay. The 12 continents, 12 energetic continents connected to the 12 months around the one of the Lemurian calendar of the 28 days of the 13 months, all aligned to the Lemurian Pleiades calendar, including the 12 continents and 48 stargates, 4 on each continent.
Yeah.
We have the locations of all of them. And we work through them. We cannot share those to you until if you decide you want to come and do the work on them, an initiation to the House of Huna is required.
Yeah.
Authenticity is required. Bullshit is not needed. Hard work, a consciousness of a very strong posture, a very strong mental ability, mental faculties, and accountability to each and every one, free will with cosmic accountability and responsibility to each other. You don't come anywhere near me unless you're of that, in terms of that work. You don't come with any of the Hunas unless you are of that level commitment.
Hey, Huna, what can you tell me about, I've heard several people come on my platform. I know you work with the Stargates across the planet. Many people have come on this platform and said that after 9/11, I believe that was in 2001, the U.S. ran straight into Iraq to shut down a portal or to get certain technology that was in Iraq. And Iraq is supposed to be tied to ancient Samaria. So what can you tell me about Iraq and why the U.S. ran to Iraq after 9/11 to get certain items? What can you tell me about that?
The reason why they went into Iraq was to steal from Iraq and steal from the Stargate, the portals.
Yeah.
Okay. Those Stargates, by the way, in Ziggurat, in Iraq and Iran and in the Middle East, were downgraded to lower vibration Stargates because of the war. So they don't access really higher consciousness dimensions, but they do. And some of those locations had a lot of relics. So the United States was going in and stealing the gold relics. But they did all over the place. These are Nazis, brother.
Straight up.
Fucking Nazis. Excuse me.
Nazis.
These Nazis that ran the military in the United States since the 20s. Oh, sorry. Right after the World War II. They took all the scientists, went to the United States, trained everybody, built some more SS military special forces under the guise of the American military, who actually were SS guys, people trained to infiltrate and go in and steal shit from everybody else like they did all along when they were just known as the Nazis. They created special teams for that. You know a lot of them. You know a lot of people.
So, you say, I mean, amazing conversation. Huna, I gotta say, for this to be your debut on my channel, I mean, this is amazing. And I want to thank you, even though we're not done yet. I just want to thank you for coming on the platform. I'm having an absolutely great time having a conversation with you, my brother. From a brother from Harlem to where you from, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. That's how you do your thing. My people, we go.
I did that too.
You know what I'm saying?
Gangster, brother. Yeah.
It's
Hey, my ninja.
it's love. It's universal love, and I appreciate where you coming from. Just like you said, you're a fan of my channel. Let me ask you this: the Stargates that you talk of, you said the Iraq one was, I think you said the word you used, I'm not sure, was downgraded. When a Stargate is in its prime, what is its potential? Like, let's say there's a Stargate 100,000 years ago. What is that looking like in terms of humanity? How do we use Stargates in ancient times?
Higher frequency beings, souls, had the ability to access and come into form, come into the birthing channel through some of those Stargates and portals.
So we didn't need women? Wait. We didn't need women? What do you mean?
No, the souls, the spirits, the souls themselves aligned the communications to come through to the womb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you had in Egypt, a lot of the priestesses could communicate with souls coming through and selecting a body, selecting a form, higher consciousness beings, like even the Anunnaki, so-called, if you want to call them gods now, but even then they probably just, higher consciousness beings, higher light beings that were coming, and they were coming through to the planet that did amazing things. I wouldn't say they didn't do amazing things at Atlantis. They did. Okay, some things turned sour, but the point of those Stargates is that whole grid served the higher consciousness and the higher light of our star nations, of our peoples, of Atlantis. Of course, things were manipulated, but I could just begin there. Then there were wars, and then because there were wars, the vibrations and the frequencies and the energies became distorted, and so many beings coming through these magnetic field, coming through the magnetic fields of the Stargates and portals, were causing distortion into the fracturing of some souls, fracturing of the light of the soul. Okay, so there was distortion and interference and interruption to many souls coming into, either be assigned a body, or communicating with a family to come into a certain family, certain tribe, certain lineage. For lesson, as we know, this is a lesson. We know this is about lesson. We've had a lot of freaking lessons. Come on now. But certainly during those periods, it was amazing times. It was some amazing time. I have. I don't want to get into my personal memories and stuff like that, but there was just amazing things. Even when I was a rat bag, it was like, wow. Even when I was being terrible, I was being amazing.
Hey, Huna. Hey, Huna, how long, you know what I'm curious about? Being that the earth is so Huna's having.
Even when I was being amazing, being terrible, I was being amazing. What the hell is
that? Hey. What, now you made me forget what I was about to ask. Oh, man. I forgot that question.
Something about a Stargate or something? No. Anyway.
It'll come to me. It'll definitely come to me. Well, let me ask you. Okay, this is what I was going to ask. All right. So, you're going back hundreds of millions of years ago, in terms of this planet and in terms of humanity existing on this planet. I'm curious to know, Huna, how long have we existed in this size? Because I hear about the giants. Yeah. So how long? I'm 6 feet tall. I must be a midget to the ancients, or I must be an ant. I must be an ant to the midgets. So how long have we been this size? And talk about the giants in antiquity.
So since Atlantis, there's been shifting with the sizes. Before Atlantis, we have had many nations at this height. If you go to Mount Shasta, there are beings that are on that were on that mountain that were just short, 4 feet tall. They were known as the Nonohi. They got an upgrade recently, in the last 15 years, they received an upgrade and they became 7 feet tall. Light beings. Now, many people have seen these light beings around Shasta. Sweet, sweet dear ones, you probably have, right? Just let us know. But so on the inner earth as well, we have also been 6 feet, 7 feet, regular kind of heights. Further back, we've also been giants. In that Atlantis, certain lineages were giants. As I remember, there was a lot of experiments. If you look at the Mayans today, a Mayan elder asked me a few years ago, he goes, "Where are you from?" I live here in Mexico with the Mayans. Yeah. And I said, "Do you remember when your people were taller?" Because he's like 5 feet tall, but regular Mayan height.
Right.
And he looked at me and his eyes were watering and he starts complaining about the Spanish, right? I said, "No." I said, "Look," I said, "you are still tall. You are still tall. I am you. I'm most Polynesian, we're 6 foot mostly and taller, 7 foot. Most Maoris, most Polynesians are all very tall and big, play for the NFL mostly. But so telling him, so you are us. All you need to do is come home to us and see us, visit us. We just need to visit each other. So they were tall once in the time of Atlantis, in the Mayan times, of the time of Thoth, in the time of Atlantis, in the times before our height as well. We can go back 1 million years, brother, and we were at a nominal height, 6 to 7 feet in the last 1 million years. Yeah, there are also giants as well. Okay, because the lineages were also being manipulated and also went to sleep, by the way. Went to sleep. Some of the giants went to sleep, so you just didn't see them. And then they pop up again, and here they are popping up again in our world right now. So they say, but no, they are actually, some are awakening today. But we have been in our height from now since the last 1 million years, when it's natural cycle of our consciousness rising with the level of source power that we contain in the larger body to bring into a smaller size. So we have become nuclear, even though we are smaller. We have become atomic.
Atomic.
We have become atomic at this level. Oh yeah, there's plenty of guys on your channel that can talk to you about that stuff too. I'm not in that field, but I can tell you by the work that we do, we access our size has gotten smaller, but the energy is not any less. It's probably more because it's more condensed and more compressed.
Yeah.
Scientifically, they could tell you. But in my understanding, for the last 1 million years, we have been in normal kind of regular heights between 6 and 7 feet. The Maori have, tell you, for the past few thousand years, and the Polynesians for longer. We are Polynesian, we're all Maori. Actually, you know what Maori means? Children of heaven, children of innocence, children of purity. That's what Maori means.
Yeah.
When anybody says to me that the Maori have not been in New Zealand long enough, you don't even know what Maori means. It means redheads are also Maori. It means Africans are also Maori. It means we're all children from heaven. Time to get over that nonsense. There's too many flags. Anyway.
Hey, any connection between Maori, Moors, or Mars? Is there any connection between those three words?
Okay, so from the Middle East, in the Arabic, there's also the name Maui. Do you know that? They also have the name Maui in the Arabic.
Okay.
The children were named Maui. They also have the sound Mahdi, which means the holy warriors. You know that. Mahdi, Maui, Maori, Maoli, Maohi. These versions of this title has survived through thousands and hundreds of thousands of years throughout our nations, because we traveled all across. We are known as the ancient travelers. We are from the Pacific, but we traveled to the Middle East as well, what you call the Middle East now, okay, which we refer to as Te Mona Nui Akiwa, and we traveled hundreds of thousands of years ago back and forth, bringing all kinds of food with us. Certainly the sweet potato,
Yeah.
the kumara, the kumao, the kumara, we call it the kumara.
Yeah.
So we have lineage in there because, well, what do you do when you go and visit other nations? You find a girlfriend and you have a baby. That's what happens. Right? So the Moors, the Mahdi, the Maui, the Maori, the Maoli, the Maohi, the original people, the people of the children of heaven. As I paraphrase it, to the children of heaven, because to me, you are. All of us here are sweet, sweet, dearly beloved, sweet, dear ones. We all are. All right.
What?
And so we've had this height for a while now.
Excellent. Ancient Lemuria. What you have been in the school, you've been in these mystery schools since you were a young man. What can you tell me if we're talking about life here on Earth spanning millions of years? We're in this era 2024 where we're concerned with aliens and beings from other planets. What can you tell me about planets like Saturn, which seems to be, I think they say Saturn is the ruler of Aquarius. If I'm not mistaken, somebody in the chat can tell me, and we're in the age of Aquarius. What can you tell me about a planet like Saturn or a place like Sirius, which seem to be important topics within the spiritual community?
Yeah, right. That is a strong conversation going on.
Yeah.
So Saturn, again, this is Greek, right? Greek language, Saturn. The Greek language was stolen by the Archon and ripped off, and the distortions put into the field. So the language of the Greeks was manipulated. The education of the Greeks was from Egypt, was from Kemet. Okay? So we really got to go back to where their teachers, where their information gathered for them, and then how they ended up discerning their style of it, Saturn. Let me speak on this side of it, Lemuria.
Mm-hmm.
Lemurian, we speak of Saturn as Ro. Which, yes, R-O, Ro. Not Saturn, not even anywhere close like Saturn. Wow. Not anywhere close like Satan either. Ro.
Ro, yes, sir. Yeah.
It refers to the expansive energy field of the light of Father. The light of Father, the sky Father. Okay, put that to any intention you want to, even if you want to call it Satan, Saturnia, the origin of the Christmas, Saturn, the Pharaoh Satan, which is where Satan's origins came from. But in any case, Ro in Lemuria, high vibration, sky Father, expanded space, planet that has expanded space and creates warp fields that have huge ramifications in space, especially if you get close to it, right? Can tear you up. Now, so we have Ro, and we have Jupiter, of which we refer to Jupiter as Pa, which means home, which is the feminine sound for Mother Earth, Pa. In the Maori, we say Papatuanuku, but certainly Pa, P-A, Pa. It is the progenitor of. It's the progenitor of pagan, which not even pagan, is pronounced as Paha, which means the breath of home. It's not pronounced as pagan. That's an American thing. Not pagan, it's Paha, right? Because the N is silent and it's spoken of as Paha, which means the breath of home.
Shit.
Come on now.
Damn, okay, Huna. You dropping it tonight, brother. You're going to have a lot of people go to your website tonight, man. A lot of people.
It's kindergarten.
You talking shit. Hey, but, Huna, let me ask you this. So, all right, in our culture, you just talked about Pa in a feminine aspect, but Papa, that's daddy in our culture. Pa,
No, it's
Pop.
not.
That's
No, it's not.
dad in American
In your
culture.
culture is Bubba.
Pops.
Well, in the English, yeah.
In English,
But in
yeah.
African, it's Bubba.
Yeah, Africa, yeah. Wow. So the English language is wow.
Yeah, it's whacked out, man.
Yeah, man. Wow.
Okay, so anyway, Pa, referring to
Yeah.
Papatuanuku,
Yes,
which
sir.
is the it's like an antenna
Mm,
to call home.
mm,
So Pa is like Papatuanuku about the land that calls you home is like
mm,
an antenna.
mm,
Home is calling, you know. Mother Earth being an antenna calling you home.
yeah.
So we say Pa, so calling you home, and Ro is the energy of the Father's light. Now there is a phrase we speak. I'm going to get to the other planet but we speak this phrase called Pare Ro in the Lemurian side, which refers to Pare Ro is a conjunction time when Earth is between these two planets, when Earth is closest to between the two of them. It's called a time of Pare Ro is when Earth receives the energy from Jupiter and so-called Saturn from Pa and Ro, which lends its energy to Earth for the royal family. The home of the royal family is Earth. The home of the royal family now, because we are here. So that whole energy is lent and gifted to us. It's been manipulated. There are ceremonies and stuff that's going on. And no, this is Satan and it's satanic. And no, that's where they hold a lot of people in the dungeon in Saturn and da. Okay, you get scolding when you do something that's not so nice. So that's what happens, But these two planets. Now, Sirius. I shared that with you this way because, this precedes the Greek stuff, because they learned it all from Kemet. And Kemet is Lemurian. Kemet is before Atlantis. Okay, there's a shaman in the Giza Plateau. Her name is Shazara Arawan. She's known as the authority on everything Kemet in the Giza Plateau, and she's her grandmother. She's a very good friend. We are very close. We're all good friends. She's all about Lemuria, and she talks about Lemuria and the Kemetic side on Lemuria side of it. You can easily go to meet her. Okay. Now, Sirius, all right, big, it's well known, quite popular, right? Sirius A, Sirius B. Now, Sirius, we speak to Sirius as Rehu. We don't say Sirius. We say Rehu. Rehu means dolphin. It's amphibious. Dolphin Stargate. It's a dolphin Stargate. Sirius constellation. Sirius's Stargate constellation is the dolphin Stargate, but higher vibration, higher frequency. Lemurian frequency is Rehu. So we don't say Sirius at all. We say Rehu. From the Lemurian, which is dolphin. Now, Sirius A is Kahu. Oh, that's the whale, by the way. That's the whale Stargate. The whale energy through that Stargate. We work with these energies. So in our practical ceremonies, in our practical way. And so the whale energy bound through, is also born through some of the indigenous cultures that they speak to the wolf as the whale and the whale as the wolf when it comes to the land. When the wolf wants to come to the sea, it goes through the whale. When the whale wants to come onto land, it goes through the wolf. Okay, there's so many things here to speak about, but we speak about these higher frequencies of Sirius as because actually lower frequency of Sirius was downgraded because of the wars. So so even the Stargate in Egypt that they talk about is downgraded, and they talk about it. Portal being in the pyramid, that's also downgraded. Okay, now I was in Egypt. I activated a Stargate, which is known as Stargate number 6. It was Sirius's activity. It was from Sirius, but it got moved from the pyramids to the Nile River. Okay, it's at the base of Dendara Temple in the Nile River. Go to first light in the morning. Stand in that position and you will feel it. It's known as the door of fire, and it's inside the Nile River. If you can speak the codes and the vibrations of it, you will connect to it. It's a feminine essence. Stargate number 6 is a feminine essence from the Nile. It's the benevolent, high vibration, benevolent side of the matriarch. Okay? Very interesting here when you've had all the patriarch going on in Egypt. Okay. Now I did that ceremony with the Bindi Master and my team of Hunas 10 years ago. That activation. Now, so Sirius, you can access Sirius. Okay, many do. And it has access because of there are things taking place there that do not serve the light of the child and actually have been fracturing souls. And we cannot have, and that is not where we are moving towards. So there is a Sirius, but its frequency is spoken of as Rehu, which is the dolphin stargate.
Yes, sir. Dolphin stargate.
Yeah. Now those pyramids, they are, as you know, they're tools and technology. But we refer to those pyramids created by the dolphins and the dolphins and the whales.
Mm-hmm.
That technology is from the dolphins and the whales. Water technology. I think somebody used the word hydrogen communications. Hydrogen is the light inside of water.
Mm-hmm.
And the light inside of water is a technology and is utilized by the whale and the dolphin in communications.
Mm-hmm.
It's an ancient technology.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about Sirius, I speak to it as Rehu.
Mm. What you mentioned the matriarch, and I guess a lot of people come on this platform and they say that this is the age of the matriarch, the age that we are coming into. And you talked about the what's that word?
Malevolence.
Malevolent side of the matriarch. What does the malevolent side of the matriarch look like? And is that why we're in the situation we are in?
Well, there was a period.
Yeah.
There's plenty of stories about the Amazonians enslaving men.
I've heard about that. I've heard about that. Yeah.
There were men slaves in the time.
Yeah.
There was men slaves in the time of Tifnu. Are you
Tefnu?
familiar with Tifnu? You're not familiar with Tifnu?
We've talked about that, but tell the people what I know, but tell the people, yeah.
Tifnu is the name of the Sphinx and is a goddess, lion queen.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the time when there was grass and everything, and the goddess and the matriarch were I wouldn't say they were in charge, but also that, see, the masculine of the time were also not just as masculine, they were also builders of foundations, pillars of foundation. As you could call that man slaves, because we just did what the feminine wanted us to do. And that's what held for a long time.
Shit.
Until that energy switched.
Yeah.
Now somebody are mentioning here, that's why some men don't like cats. I guess so. That's whatever it was, and whatever. If you were there, you would know. You would feel this. And you have memories of it. So, yeah, the matriarch, and that was all over the world too. Even in Europe, Europe was going through that as well.
Mm-hmm.
With the feminine mastery, with the rising. Can we speak to it now, brother? Can we speak to it now?
Yeah.
Now, the feminine, I still think, is looking for a masculine. I'm gonna say you're not looking for a masculine. You're looking for the pillar, one who holds up the foundations of mother, of the feminine, one who believes and supports the word of mother. Okay. Now, if you just a little deep again, brother, can't help it. I can't help it. Just gonna pop one or two of them in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not preaching and just letting you know, like talking my shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
The word of mother, in my understanding, as an eternal being, I am. The word of mother is they shall remain innocent.
Mm.
The word of father is so let there be light, is the reply. And the
That's
reply
good.
of the child, okay, the child's word is yes, I can. So whether you are a masculine or feminine and you are a child, the word of the eternal one and the most infinite one is yes, I can. Because sweet dear ones, we are
Huna,
eternal. We are eternal.
Huna, I'm sorry. Can you go through that one more? That was absolutely amazing. I don't know if you realize how profound and amazing, and it's so simple. The mother, the father, and the child. What was the words of the mother, the father, and the child? Could you go through that one more time, my brother?
The word of the mother is they shall remain innocent.
Yes.
The word of father is so let there be
Be
light.
light. Mm-hmm.
And the reply of the child is yes, I can.
Wow.
And you're
Wow.
damn right I can.
Mm.
There's the most power in the universe. That is the power of the universe. Is yes, I can. I can be innocent as all are innocent. And yes, I can let light come through.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I can.
Mm-hmm.
You being a mother or father is also a child. You being a feminine or a masculine are also a child. Those words come from you. They come from you, the infinite, the most infinite sound. Is yes, I can.
Oh yeah. Hey, y'all remember when I first introduced Rod Hayes on the channel? I think Rod Hayes made his debut on the channel in 2022, toward the end of 2022 with Blue Pill. And I think no, toward the end of 2021. I forget. But you remember when Rod Hayes made his debut? The most people, Rod Hayes, Dr. B Sirius, Brother Yosef, those three, because they made amazing debuts. This brother's making an amazing debut, just like Rod, Dr. B Sirius. Like, who the Flash is making an amazing debut on the channel. They gonna want you back on here, brother. They gonna want to know about what you got going on. Listen, this is an amazing debut on the channel, man. I appreciate it.
I'm grateful, brother. And sweet dear one, sweet dearly beloveds, always grateful to your attention and brother, your show, your diligence, your sharing.
Indeed.
I mean, I have my own channel as well. And it's so grateful to even have the people that are on there come visit. Indeed. And your larger network as well. So grateful for the expansion.
I'm gonna get to I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I'm just saying it's an incredible thing at this time. And amazing to be here. There's so much knowledge to share in such a 90 to 2 hours. We want to share things that have been accumulated for my life over 4 decades as a shaman. Since I'm aged very young. I have been practical in the practical work since I'm 16. I was awake at the age 7. I was talking to the giants at age 7, known as the Rongo. You're not ever going to hear this name very much. You always hear about the Nephilim and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The Rongo were the giants of Lemuria who stood for peace. They weren't all crazy like you see that you hear about some of the stories that we were part of in the later in the modern times. But the grandfathers were known as the Rongo, which means to stand for peace. And they were giants, and they were over 100 feet tall. Of Lemuria.
100 feet tall.
120 feet tall.
Man, that's a whole nother conversation. Listen, I can't wait. Like I said, you made an amazing debut on the channel, my brother. Definitely look forward to having you back on here. But I want to get to a couple of questions from the people in the chat. Just a couple, because I got to go soon. But Tell the people you got so much going on with your courses and your studies and your classes and your tell them because they're gonna want to contact you, brother. Tell them everything you got going on.
Sweet dear ones.
You can send me the links after the show and I'll put it up. But go ahead.
Oh, fabulous. I know that the Hunas are on the channel popping in some links, but sweet dear ones. www.hoh.earth. We have .earth, not .com. .com means the slave industry. Okay, .earth. And there you will find courses, which has the Dragon Masters course. It's very practical. It's a 50-day course, and it's very powerful. It's the gift that keeps giving.
Yeah.
Right. And so, and also on there, we have what is known as the Great Seal to become Huna, to get initiated into, once you begin the Dragon Masters school and the School of Light, initiate as a Huna, to take the Great Seal of the Kumara and the seal of the Child of Light. Not that you're not sealed. I'm not talking about that. The seal is about an expansion of your light, re-energizing, recharging it, like polishing your headlights and infusing more memory and more ability and options to remember, to maintain a powerful posture, and reinforce your mental abilities, reinforce your mental stability, mental health. Okay. And there are also connections that we have within there. We have recommendations to www.flc.earth to get a Lemurian oracle reading. So to read into the future or past or connections there. Also, www.quantumnavigator.earth to receive your Lemurian birth chart. It's very detailed and very powerful. It's incredible. So many recommendations on that site within our Huna community for you to flow through and feel through, see what resonates with you, and to connect to and even communicate. I have on my website one-on-one sessions as well. I just only decided to do that again because for many years I was being attacked. Okay, so I've decided to have those one-on-one sessions again. And they can attack me directly to my face. Which they don't. This is a whole other thing.
I hear you, my brother. I hear you.
Yeah.
Oh,
anyway,
man.
I joke. I lovingly receive everybody.
You have to.
So those are the places you can go to.
You have to.
I have my channel, Huna Flash TV, as well.
On YouTube. Huna Flash TV. Huna Flash TV on YouTube, yes.
And I have that, and there's so much free information there. A lot of live interviews. I actually did a seal ceremony for Roseanne Barr. She is also a Huna. That took place before she got famous again, by the way. I'll tell you, right after she got sealed, she took off. Her career just went bam and took off again and like, woohoo. Yeah, you go ahead. You'll see the interview with me here on my channel. Her seal. Hey, she talks about her seal.
Hey, Huna, first question. We have went so many places in this interview. We forgot to talk briefly about the Grand Solar Flash. We went so many. This interview, we did it. We went there. The Grand Solar Flash. You was talking to me about last September and the Christ consciousness. Talk to us about that because I actually named that the title. What a great show. We were just flowing. We was flowing. Go ahead, though, brother.
What a great journey.
Thank you,
Flash. The Solar Flash, sweet dear ones, is the flash of light in the consciousness from September 11th to September 15th. We celebrate that as the moment of Christmas, of the Christ Mass, of the Mass of the Christ consciousness. And we celebrate that because in our knowing, understanding is when Yeshua was born during that month, during that moment. That is springtime of the Pleiadian calendar, the Lemurian calendar, which is known as first light, at the calendar of first light. And in September is the springtime of the Lamb. As you know the story with the Lamb, okay? Now, there is so much more to share through there. We celebrate the Christ consciousness mass, or the mass buildup of Christ consciousness that sparks the solar flare within the consciousness and within the world and the universe. And we are returning to that. we are returning to that alignment. Okay. And so that's during the September, and that's what Brother was talking about in the theme. But also, there is a spark of light, solar flashes going off all over every calendar. And there are many shows talking about the solar flash. That is the one that I speak about, in alignment to the Christ consciousness, the God spark of yourself, as in other words, the Big Bang. I refer to that as the Big Bang. And so September 11th to September 15th, there are many speaking about this who are not associated with me that are just talking about it.
Right.
And they have remembrance. That's what's going on. We are remembering. Arrive, meet us on that in September 11th to the September 15th. We have a ceremony we do here in the Goddess Island, in the Caribbean Sea, right? Where Atlantis began, and Lemuria, where Atlantis merged to Lemuria. We have that ceremony here. Playa del Carmen in the Yucatan Peninsula, in the Mayan Riviera. The sand is pure white, never gets hot, stays lukewarm, and the water's crystal clear. You need to come and join that. Come and visit us during that time. We have an incredible ceremony and activities, and the tree of light that we share. The tree of light and the tree of gates. So, that's a short blast of it.
Oh yeah. Let's get to another question. That was a great question. Thank you, Do Diamonds, for bringing that up. Definitely appreciate it. Let's get to another question. What's a good simple practice for telepathy?
Dragon eye. Okay, some people have the sun gazing. You call it sun gazing on 33 degrees upside, or 33 degrees downside. Right. I'm going to take you to 90 degrees between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. right directly straight up. You come and have a practice of that with me. We'll crack open your telepathy and your dragon eye.
Hold up. You know you're going to have people going crazy. Hold up. You said from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.?
Yeah, typically here in the highest light in the equator. And I live in the middle of between the two.
You Eastern time like me.
Yeah, I'm Eastern time, Cancun Eastern time, Playa del Carmen. And when I share the practice, because this is where I meditate directly into the sun at the highest energy with both my eyes open, fully open.
What time? Because they say don't do that. Hold up, Huna. They say don't do that, Huna. They said do that at sunset and sunrise. In the West, this is what they say in the West, my brother. So hold up, this is new to me now.
I don't know what to tell you.
Explain to me what you're doing, brother. Please, I need to know.
I'm doing the dragon eye. I'm doing true telepathics.
Hold up,
there's no sun gazing. There's information at 33 degrees upside and 33 down. There's information there. But we're talking about power, telepathics, and going through the black sun. Goes through the black sun. Goes through the portal.
Oh, shit.
I'm not talking about skirting around the edge of it.
You talking?
I've taught this practice for years, bro.
Wow.
I've had groups of 80 people doing a dragon eye. 80 people standing in one spot doing the dragon eye. One time. At one time I was teaching it. I share it all the time. Only takes a few minutes to learn. But you have to be braver than the sun, okay? Because remember, this is going to mean you're going to remember that you are bigger than the sun. Trust me.
Damn.
On this.
Huna.
I want you to trust me. Whatever you want.
Huna, you got big kahunas, Huna. You got big kahunas. Huna.
That's where I meditate. I meditate with my eyes open. I meditate with my eyes closed.
Huna, you be talking shit and I love it. Because the confidence. The confidence, and when I say that's a slang word for confidence, I'm just like, so good, I love the confidence that you talk. You have to be bigger than the sun. I don't know if you realize what you did. That's a big statement. You said you have to be bigger. People worship the sun in spirituality. You just told us you got to be bigger than the sun. That's important. I love it.
You are bigger than the sun.
I love it. Huna, can't you hurt
Trust
your
me.
eyes? Can't you hurt your eyes looking at the sun at that time?
I'm 60 years old. I just had a birthday. I see clear as fucking bright as day.
Excellent.
And I spend minutes at the highest end of the sun. Minutes. I can meditate for minutes in peace right there with my eyes wide open like that into the direct heat since I'm very young. And I have tutored others to do that, and they love it. You don't always have to do it every day. You do your practice when you feel a little energy. You get some energy into you, and you share the energy back. You don't just take it all, but give Back. When you give back through the void, you're giving back to the universe. Sweet, sweet dear ones. Don't be afraid of that. You do have to be brave to give back. So go through there and give back, but you have to remain open. And so you got to open your eyes. You open your consciousness. Use all of your eyeballs. You got many of them, not just one. Right? So, and if you feel that no, I can't do this, you just need the proper tutelage. That's all. Proper tutelage. There's a way to do it. That's a way to do it. When they tell you not to do, I do it. Why? Because they're lying. They ain't even tried, because they don't even know what's there. They don't want you to know. Well, maybe they do know what's there, and they don't want you to know. I can tell you, there's a lot there, brother. You see the real starships then. You start seeing the real starships, the ones that are out of phase. You start seeing them in phase.
Hey, Huna, why did you refer, when you talked about the sun, you said the black sun. When we look at the sun, we automatically, a lot of people think white, yellow, gold. Why did you refer to it as a black sun or a portal?
Because you don't stay there long enough to see the black sun. You have to stay there long enough, and you have to be brave to see that.
Okay.
Have courage. Trust yourself that you are bigger than the sun, and that you're going to go through, and then the black sun will reveal itself. That the next level beyond the blue and the gold is black. It'll turn negative. It'll flip. It'll show you the opposite side of it from what's on the outside of light. It'll open up the doorway to outside of light. Okay? Things are energy is created outside of light, so that light can be created inside. Okay. So you get the access through outside of light.
Energy is created outside of light, so that, say that again. Energy
is created outside of light, not inside of light.
Right. So
and then you bring that energy in and create light and bring it inside. Excellent. To the atmosphere, yourself, outside or inside of yourself. Okay. But it is created outside of the atmosphere, outside of light, in darkness.
Indeed.
Hey, so this is just awesome fun being here, brother.
Great.
I want to thank you.
Indeed. Let's get to one more question before we get out of here. This is wow. I'm talking about, this is like top tier good stuff, family. This is like, wow, this is really good stuff. Let me see. Let's get to one more question. Let's see. I see a lot of comments. People are talking.
There's a lot of comments here.
Okay. Ask about the Stargate in Antarctica and the eclipse in April 2024. Glad she asked about that. There's a major eclipse in 2024.
The Stargate in Antarctica doesn't have access to the higher frequencies. It's a low vibration Stargate.
Wow.
It's about transporting and shipping of goods and services.
Oh shit! Wow.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Just bullshit stuff.
Wow.
Other beings transporting body parts, if you will, stuff, all kinds of nonsense.
Wow, this is crazy.
And the eclipse in April, that's the one that comes across Turtle Island from the west to the east.
Yeah, it forms an X. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't pay much attention to it, but when we talk about the eclipse, any kind of eclipse, not just April, right? When we talk about any kind of eclipse, I focus on what is happening between the two planets. There's portals opening, continuum, what they call a continuum, continuum vortex opening between the two planets, between the inside that eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
And within that continuum and that vortex, that portal, purging, recreation energies, supporting energies are coming through.
Excellent.
Supportive energies of the planet, for the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right now, just sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloveds, despite of all what you hear in the news and that, understand that right now, everything is moving into alignment for the benevolence of this planet.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have, they have so-called HARP and so-called weather manipulation, know that those things are easily being undone and are easily set up to serve the highest. The dark doesn't realize it works for the light. It does.
That's
If
deep.
it does, it's taking big money. It's getting paid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In one way or another. The point is that those energies don't realize they work for the light. So, the understanding is that they are innocent. They remain innocent. So let there be light. And eventually the child will always say, and the child will say yes, as the child grows and matures and comes out of adolescence. These eclipses and these portals are sharing information to that level, to the benevolent of the highest consciousness. Funny enough.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to learn shit, man. It's going to hurt until it doesn't.
Love it.
If you don't let it go, it's going to hurt even longer.
Yeah.
No matter what you think of what this eclipse is doing or what any eclipse is doing, what kind of navigation and mathematics and science you want to put on it, everything is being undone. So you see the animals going counterclockwise?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, they remember Lemuria. That's all undoing, brother. The undoing. We are affecting. We are affecting. Our work is affecting it. Affecting everything and everyone, everywhere. Each one of us. Yeah, we're all waking up at a pretty good time right now. So much fun.
Amazing. Hey, Huna.
Yeah.
Huna, leave your contact information, man. I'm talking about an absolutely amazing show, my brother. You did your thing. You helped. You did your thing, my brother. We talked on the phone. You did your thing. I'm proud of you, my brother, for coming on the channel and holding it down the way you did, disseminating the information and the wisdom the way you did. Leave your contact info. I would love for the people to reach out to you, Huna.
Thank you, my brother, my ninja, gangster, man, gangster. Hey, I got this new birthday gift before we get out of here. My cousin's visiting from New Zealand. My birthday. Yeah. He brought me this beanie, dog.
I like that.
He brought me this beanie, man.
Maori. I like that.
Maori, that's my nationality.
I like
that. That's my nationality. That's my passport.
Fire. That's fire.
Children of heaven.
Yeah, children of heaven. I love it. Oh,
that's
man.
you too. That's your beanie too, brother.
Yes,
sweet dear ones, dearly beloveds. Thank you so much. Hope to be visiting again.
Tell them your YouTube, contact info, everything. Tell them all that.
Okay. Yeah. Huna Flash TV on YouTube. You'll find all the links there. So many links these days. Office at hoh.earth. Office at hoh.earth. That's where it's being monitored all the time, 24/7. I'd like to thank all the Hunas that are here supporting Huna Tamaake, Huna Kahasahi, Huna Matatu, and Huna Kahiwaha, and Huna Maroyata, and Huna Ma'aikuta. I know, crazy titles, but these are essences, right? And so just grateful for everybody here. And you, brother, great show, man. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to. Hey, you know what? We got that vote thing coming up, isn't it? The vote for, what is that, awards that Billy has?
Oh, Forbidden. Yeah, Forbidden Knowledge. Yeah.
Forbidden Knowledge, the voting thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somehow I got in on that somewhere along the line.
Excellent.
We'll see.
No, excellent. Yeah, definitely. Y'all know what to do. Y'all can go to the Forbidden Knowledge website and vote for Huna Flash. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what categories is he Billy. I don't know where is that right now. Yeah, spiritual leader, but yeah, definitely Huna Flash doing your thing. My brother, I'm gonna talk to you soon, but I want to thank you for coming on the show, brother. You did your thing. All right. Peace, brother.
Ciao, brother.
Yes, sir.
Peace out.
Peace.
Wow.